Good morning, cadets. In the previous session, we discussed about the four fundamental forces in the nature, very important forces in the nature, and their order of magnitudes also we discussed. Now, let us solve some numerical problems as a part of revision. Some simple numerical problems will solve based on simple harmonic motion and wave motion. Okay. Now, the one particular problem, it's of 2 marks. What is the ratio of maximum acceleration to maximum velocity of a simple harmonic oscillator? Question is very simple. What is the ratio of maximum acceleration to the maximum velocity for a body in simple harmonic motion? We know displacement. Displacement for SHM. Displacement for an object in SHM is given by A cos omega t. When we differentiate this, we get velocity dy by dt. Differentiating once, differentiating with respect to time. Differentiating with respect to time, v is equal to dy by dt. This derivation, differentiation gives us velocity. Cos omega t becomes sin omega t. So it becomes a omega sin omega t. But differentiation of cos function is negative. Therefore, it becomes minus a omega sin omega t. But minus a omega becomes maximum velocity. So this I can write it as V naught or Vm sin omega t, where Vm is equal to minus a omega, which you can take it as magnitude, because it is always varying in between plus a omega and minus a omega. Therefore, we can take it as the amplitude of velocity, that is V max. Maximum velocity V max, that is what we call as amplitude of velocity. So amplitude of velocity is minus a omega. Next is maximum acceleration. Maximum acceleration is differentiation of this once again, differentiating with respect to time. Again, we get acceleration A is equal to dv by dt, differentiation of velocity. So minus a omega sin omega t becomes cos omega t, and omega into omega becomes omega square. So this can be again written as minus omega square into a cos omega t. And what is a cos omega t? A cos omega t is nothing but the displacement. Therefore, a is equal to minus omega square y. Okay. This is to say that the acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement. Okay. We are not interested in this unless we are asked to prove this. Okay. We are not interested. Now at present we are interested what is the maximum acceleration. Maximum acceleration from this equation can be written as am cos omega t, where this itself is acceleration. So from this a equal to minus omega square a cos omega t, am is equal to minus omega square a, where the peak value of acceleration am is equal to minus omega square a, right? This itself is amplitude of acceleration. Amplitude of acceleration. So amplitude of acceleration we can again take it as modulus. So because it is varying between plus value of omega square a to minus value of omega square A, right? So you can take the magnitude modulus. So that gives us A max and this gives us V max. So here you are asked to calculate the ratio of maximum acceleration to maximum velocity, ratio of A max by V max. Now we can readily get it. Therefore, the ratio of A max by V max is equal to minus minus we can cancel omega square A. This is I think capital A. I have written small a. It should be capital A. Should be capital A. So capital A cancels. Therefore, omega square A divided by omega A, where A is the amplitude of displacement. A is the amplitude of displacement, and minus omega A is the amplitude of velocity, and omega square A is the amplitude of acceleration. Right? The ratio of omega square A to the omega A, definitely it is omega. So omega A cancels with omega. Therefore, ratio AM by VM becomes equal to omega. This is asked for 2 marks. So it's, you can remember, whenever a body is in simple harmonic motion, then the ratio of peak value of acceleration to peak value of velocity, or ratio of amplitude of acceleration to amplitude of velocity, or the ratio of maximum acceleration to maximum velocity is omega square A divided by omega A. Definitely it is omega. So this is simple question. This is frequently asked question for 2 marks. Okay. Now let us see one more numerical problem of the similar kind. Look at this second problem. A body describes simple harmonic motion with an amplitude of 5 cm. So amplitude is given 5 cm and a time period of 0.2 seconds. Capital T equal to 0.2 seconds. Find the acceleration and velocity of the body if the displacement is 5 cm. So it describes simple harmonic motion, and what is the value of this? What is the value of acceleration and velocity if its displacement is 5 cm? So first let us write equation for displacement. Displacement of a simple harmonic motion, y is equal to a cos omega t. Then if you differentiate this, we get v equal to dy by dt, that gives us minus omega a sin omega t. So this becomes velocity. Velocity. Amplitude is given and t is given. So we can find out velocity. Now we can find out velocity in terms of displacement. Look at this equation. Now we can take this as velocity is also there and another one is acceleration. Okay. Differentiating once again, we get acceleration is equal to dv by dt is equal to minus omega into omega square a cos omega t. After differentiating this once again, we get minus omega square a cos omega t, which is equal to minus omega square into y. Therefore, a is equal to minus omega square into y. Now, at displacement 5 cm, what is acceleration and what is velocity? So directly we can calculate what is acceleration here, because time period t is given. If t is time period, then omega is equal to 2 pi by t. Just substitute the value of t, then we get omega. That is equal to 2 pi by 0.2. So 2 pi by 0.2, we can cancel 2 with the 0.2. It becomes 10 pi. Therefore, omega is equal to 0.2 ones are 0.2 tens are, it becomes 10 pi radian per second. So this is angular acceleration, angular frequency. Now substitute this, and y is also given. Y is 5 centimeter. Y is 5 centimeter. So substituting these values, I can get acceleration. Therefore, acceleration of SHM A is equal to minus, you can just neglect minus, the minus is just a variation of acceleration with respect to the displacement. Acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement. So we can take modulus of that. So modulus of omega square by, so omega square gives us 10 into 10 pi square, 10 into 10 pi square omega square into y, and y is 5 centimeter omega square y. That gives us acceleration. Therefore, acceleration A is equal to 100 pi square into 5, that is 500 pi square in terms of centimeter per second square. 500 pi square in terms of centimeter per second square. Now we can calculate what is velocity. I can just here I write acceleration is equal to 500 pi square centimeter per second square. Finally, we can calculate this in SI units. Now the next part is to find out velocity. Look at this equation. We have velocity is equal to minus omega A sin omega t. Sin omega t can be written as using this sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is equal to 1. So sin omega t can be written as 1 minus cos square omega t. Sin square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos square omega t. Okay. So if I take a square on both sides, then it becomes a square. Okay. So if I take a square sin square omega t plus a square cos square omega t, then it becomes a square. So multiplying both sides by a square, then it becomes a square sin square omega t is equal to a square minus a square cos square omega t. So this is what I am going to use in this equation. What is a sin omega t? I want to just substitute. A sin omega t can be written as minus omega into square root of a square minus a square cos square omega t. Because I know what is a cos omega t. A cos omega t is nothing but y. So I can substitute a cos omega t by displacement. And we know what is amplitude. Amplitude is already given. Amplitude is phi. So I can readily find out what is the velocity. I think you got the point. A square sin square omega t plus a square cos square omega t is equal to a square. Because sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is equal to 1. So multiplying both sides by a square, we get a square sin square omega t plus a square cos square omega t equal to a square. Therefore, a square sin square omega t is equal to a square minus a square cos square omega t. So if you want only a sin omega t, then square root of this a sin omega t becomes equal to square root of a square minus a square cos square omega t. This is what I have used here. Therefore, I can write minus omega into square root of a square minus y square. This is velocity. A square minus y square, because we know y is equal to a cos omega t. Substituting this, we get a square minus y square. Just you see, amplitude is 5 cm and displacement is also 5 cm. Here a is equal to y is equal to both 5 cm. Therefore, if you substitute, velocity becomes minus omega into 0. 0 minus 0, thus we get 0. So velocity is equal to 0 when displacement is 5 cm. Then what about acceleration? Acceleration is equal to 500 pi square centimeter per second square. If you write it in meters, then it becomes 5 pi square meter, 5 pi square meter per second square. Pi square, if you take nearly 10, 3.142 into 3.142, square of that, if you take nearly 10, it comes out to be 10 pi's are 15 meter per second square. This is the acceleration. This is how one can find out acceleration and velocity from the given condition of amplitude and displacement when an object describes simple harmonic motion. Solve this problem some 2-3 times, then you will become familiar with new equation. Velocity is equal to minus omega into a square minus y square, and we already know acceleration is equal to omega square into y. So these two equations 1, 2 and 3, these equations are helpful in the calculation of velocity and acceleration. Look at this interesting problem. There is a metallic string of mass 2.5 kg is under tension of 200 Newton. A string, you can see one end of the string is connected to a rigid support and the other end is connected with some slotted weights, so that this string of length 20 cm is under tension of 200 Newton and the mass of the string is 2.5 kg. The length of the stretched string is 20 meter. I think 20 meter, yes. Mass of the, it is not 20 centimeter, it is 20 meter. 20 meter. Then if the transverse jerk is struck at one end of this, suppose if it is given a jerk here, transverse up and down, transverse jerk means if it is plucked up and down, if it is plucked once up and down like this, how long does this transverse jerk take to reach the other end? If the transverse jerk is struck at one end of the string, how long does the disturbance take to reach the other end? How much time it takes for this disturbance to reach the other end at a distance of 20 meter? So you are asked to calculate the time taken by the transverse wave to reach this end. Okay. Now given things, just write down. Mass of the string M is equal to 2.5 kg. Length of the string L is equal to 20 meter. Right? Next, tension in the string. T is equal to 200 Newton. Now we know for the transverse wave, the speed of transverse wave on a stretched string, speed of a transverse wave on a stretched string, V is equal to square root of T by mu, where mu is called mass per unit length, that is linear mass density. Here U is mass per unit length, that is m by L. This is called linear mass density. We have solved such problems earlier also, right? Just substitute the value. Tension 200 divided by what is mass per unit length? You can see here 20 is the length and mass is 2.5. So you can just substitute. Divided by 20 meter. So it becomes 25 divided by 25 divided by 200. 25 divided by 200. 25 divided by 200 is as good as 1 by 8. Therefore, mu is equal to 1 by 8. 25 ones are 25 8s are. So I can write here 1 by 8 under root. Therefore, V is equal to 8 comes to the numerator. It becomes 8 into 200. That is 1600 under root. Therefore, square root of 1600 becomes 40 meter per second. So the speed of transverse wave through this stretched string is 40 meter per second. Now we can calculate what is time taken for this transverse jerk to reach this other end. What is the time taken by the disturbance to reach the other end? We know speed, we know the length of the string. We can calculate time taken. Okay. So time taken by the disturbance to reach the other end. Time is equal to speed by V is equal to d by t. V is equal to d by t, distance by time. Therefore, t is equal to d by v. You can use this. T is equal to d by v. So v by v, you substitute. V is 20 meter and v is 40 meter per second. So it becomes 1 by 2. That is 0.5 seconds. 0.5 seconds. In this way, we need to calculate using the equations that we have already studied. Okay. We'll have more numerical problems in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.